going, everyone? Got another cheap little Amazon episode for you guys. Doing a bed rack, not a bed rack, I'm sorry, a roof rack on the Jeep. Here she is. Got delivered yesterday. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the garage real quick and we'll get to the unboxing. All right, here we go. It's not that heavy. It's about 70-ish, 80 pounds. Let me just make some room here real quick. Get this old box out of the way. Actually, it's trash. Toss this out. Grab a knife real quick and cut this sucker open. See what we're working with. Yeah, it's pretty, it wasn't expensive. Around like 300 bucks on Amazon. It's a freaking pain to open these boxes, man. I don't know why they go through so much trouble of putting all this tape on it. And I get it, they're protecting the product to ship it. I like that they use black tape. I think I opened it wrong. I just like to break stuff sometimes. All right. Wow. More boxes. Fuck. There we go. Whoops. Ah, man. Fuck it, whatever. Y'all saw how easy it was to open that? Or maybe I'm just not the smartest tool in the shed today. Running low on time, so I need to jam through this. Some hardware in here. Don't need that. Yep, hardware. Some crossbars. Put these off to the side. See you guys in a bit. Y'all saw how easy it was to open that? Or maybe I'm just not the smartest tool in the shed today. Running low on time, so I need to jam through this. Some hardware in here. Don't need that. Yep, hardware. Crossbars, put these off to the side. See you guys in a bit. All right, so I've got everything staged, and these instructions are pretty sad instructions. See this parts list? Tells you to slide the square nuts into the mounting rail, mount the support bars onto the frames. Okay, I guess just mock it up. And here's an exploded view, so we're gonna try and do that real quick, all right? I'm just gonna mock it up here loosely so that I could always tighten it later. And so everything is aluminum on this, so it doesn't weigh too much, but sometimes a little bit more aluminum than you expect can make these weigh a lot more than you want them to weigh. Looks like it came with some Allen wrenches here. Got 3 of them. It's crazy. I don't like these setups sometimes. You're screwing everything in and you just have it at just the wrong angle, right? Slightly. Everything gets tight on you. And then you start to cross thread stuff and trying to avoid that. don't like this gap I see there, but we'll see. Again, it wasn't too expensive, so I'm not expecting high quality stuff. It was only temporary until I could afford something a little bit better. I want to start taking the kids out too, so this is mainly to just carry stuff up top, and I have to sacrifice room inside the Jeep. Alright, so I'm going to finish the rest of the mock-up on this just to preserve a little bit of battery in the GoPro, but it's looking pretty easy for the most part. I'll see what mounting looks like. I might have to just get a moving blanket put on top of the Jeep to not ruin the paint and just slide it right on up and ride it up into the other side. But you guys will see when I get there. It says slide the square nuts into the mounting rail. Mount the support bars onto the frames. So when you look, it doesn't tell you what the square nuts are. It just says R times 10, whatever. So I had already put the mock-up, just like you see over there, on this end here, and I'm all like, how the heck am I supposed to secure these? These are the square nuts, duh, and you're supposed to mount them right in here. 5, and then 5 on the other side, and then you put the caps on either end, and then you just slide these around, and you tighten them. Man, see, even when I try to read instructions, it's freaking... And I read the reviews on this stuff too when I got it online. Everyone's saying that the instructions suck. I understand your guys' frustration, so hopefully if you guys ever purchase this rack, you come across this video, it helps you guys out, okay? Square nuts right inside here, and on the other side, 5 as well. So I'm assuming I need to mount these crossbars before I put that cap on, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And there's a mock-up so far, so you guys can see. All right, these are the crossbars. I'm just gonna slide those little square nuts in their respective place and try and space them out as evenly as possible. There's a trick to this if you guys wanna do a little bit of precision work here, okay? When you put these little crossbars on, you're gonna see little dimples on the bottom, like these right here, all right? That's gonna help you keep the crossbar right here on the rail. And then what you'll do is, using a little pick object, I'm using the Allen key it came with, the smallest one, you slide it. And you slide it until you center it and make those holes line up and kind of poke it in there pretty good. There you go. All right. And then you grab one of these little silver flat top screws that come with the kit, drop that in there, you grab your bigger Allen key and you start tightening it. And don't tighten it all the way because you're still gonna have to slide it around to position them properly and space them out evenly, all right, or according to your cargo needs. In my case, I have a little bit of OCD sometimes, so I want them as evenly as possible. And you can still slide it around without it coming off. So you do that for the remaining bars, and then I'm going to tighten them all down. All right, now that I got that last one in there, I'm gonna go ahead and slide this in. And this is, I guess, for lack of a better term, because the instructions don't call it anything, this could be my end cap. And this is the front facing one. All right, so you see the little lip portion that goes facing down. Slide it right on here. Perfect. And there are 2 little black screws that are screwed onto the end cap. Don't forget to take those off before you slide them in, otherwise you won't be able to. All right, so let's go ahead and find those screws. Where's my smaller Allen key? Here it is. Put these suckers on. And it's pretty self-explanatory where you'll see these little screws screw onto. And these I am gonna tighten down because everything is pretty much already set. Lockup is done. I pretty much tightened every single nut and bolt on this, and I'm going to show you guys now, give you guys a little rundown of what it looks like. All right, so there it is, assembled partially. As soon as you get those brackets that latch onto the little rain gutters on the Jeep over there. All right, and something I came across is, I don't know if you guys see those two little black screws there. Those come on these end caps, and behind those, obviously they have to grab onto something, right, so it could thread on. That little bracket in the back, it's not held on permanently, so when you move this and you tap it, it might come off a bit offset and you won't be able to drive these in. So make sure everything lines up before you try and put those screws in, because you're gonna be wondering, why the heck aren't these things going in? All right, so I figured that out right now. I was fighting about 2 or 3 minutes trying to figure out what's going on. I looked inside, lo and behold, it was off center. All right, you can easily push them out, or if you have a little pick, just line them up like that. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go grab a moving blanket, and I'm gonna put it on the top of the Jeep on the side here. That way I could mount this up top and slowly slide it over, because I don't have an extra set of hands, unfortunately, to help me out. And I read on one of the Amazon reviews for this, that's how somebody did it. Was it a review? Or maybe another YouTube video for a different rack. Either way, I thought it was a genius idea. It's not my idea, by the way. All right, so I'm gonna go grab a blanket real quick. I should have one in storage room, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got the moving blankets up here. I kind of doubled up on them. And don't forget, when you're putting this on, there are arrows on this little roof rack here that shows you the orientation when you put it on. Faces that way, all right? Make sure you do that. Don't mess up and make them that way, because you're probably gonna get a lot of wind noise. So hopefully I don't scratch any paint. Wish me luck. Man, it's crazy that this is a lot easier to lift when it's assembled than when it's on a box. All right, moving blankets, do your job. There you go. There you go. And I'll just remove them later. Wow, easy enough. Let me check on the other side real quick. All right, see that? No moving blanket over there. Just gonna pull them out a bit and bring them my way. There we go. Gonna line everything up just right here. Make sure it's nice and spaced out. All right, looks like we're looking good. Remove the bolts from the mounting brackets, and then position the rack on the roof of the car. Mount the brackets to the rain gutter. All right, so let's see what we got. Nothing else in the back. Seems pretty simple enough. Let's see what bracket looks like. And it does have pieces of rubber right here where it latches onto the rain gutter. And this top part here, you're gonna line it up with the holes on the rack and use the provided hardware to, I guess, just screw them in. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. Just gonna remove this because that's what the instructions tell me to do. All right, and once you're done with that, it does have some washers there. They seem pretty secure, so they won't slide right off, but be careful anyways. And then you take this off and you position it. Let's go ahead and do that now. Make sure they're pinched in. You kind of want to hold this little bracket down there and just hand tighten it, because you're going to be manually aligning it again later before you actually tighten them up all the way. Be careful, because I dropped this bracket earlier and it landed on my paint here. Luckily it was the rubber side that hit it. Alright, that's kind of loose right there. I'll just leave it like that, and I'll put the other one on. And there we go. But not too loose, so else it doesn't fall off. All right, well, there's one. Now let me go, I'm gonna get on top here real quick, and I'm gonna see where the mounting holes are so I could position it. Use this little piece of hardware here, right? You got the bracket down here with the welded on nuts. This goes on the bottom, and this square piece serves as a spacer and also a washer. And there's already pre-drilled holes on the rack itself, and you guys will see it once you open it up from the box. So we're gonna use those holes to mount this on and secure it tightly. And likely there's already some blue Loctite on there from the factory, so that's a good thing. All right, so got that side down, and I still haven't tightened completely the bottom bolts or the top ones, all right? Because it's not fully centered yet, as you guys could tell. Check it out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and tackle the other side now, and then I'm gonna center it, and that should conclude this install. Bring you guys up here with me. Here I am putting this on again. You got that long piece. It's like a long square washer, and then the nut side underneath. So what you'll do is line up the holes to the bracket. About set there. Drop this in like this, and they're pretty much spaced right. Then you grab this with one hand. You drive it up underneath wherever you feel the bolts. You start twisting them in, threading them in loosely, because this thing is far from centered. Looks like it's grabbing, hopefully. Oh yeah, it is. Make sure you do both of them. All right, there we go. Now I think I could take these little blankets off, because this rack is no longer resting on the Jeep. Right, as you guys can see, this thing is looking better, but it's definitely far from centered. It hangs out more on this side, excuse me, than on that side there. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pushing it out just a little bit. All right, looking good. Now take these little stickers off. And it does come with a nice little warning label there. Alright, so there we have it, installed. Once you kind of get through the first few pieces of the puzzle, it becomes pretty obvious what goes where. But the initial headache, man, it just freaking sucks sometimes. Alright, so hopefully this one piece of gear makes me get a little bit closer to being an overlander. You guys tell me. Alright, but man, it's looking pretty nice now. It doesn't look like a regular 4xe. Happy with how it looks. Shout out 395 Junkie right there. Now I could start using the cargo rack. That's what I'm going to refer to it as, a cargo rack. Because for roof rack purposes, I think more people out there are using these for rooftop tents and whatnot. And this only has a static weight limit of like 400 pounds. So my fat ass can't, I don't trust myself to sleep on top of that, let alone with two people. All right, maybe one of those Inspire rooftop tents that weigh about 80 pounds. But even then, you know, I'm a hefty fella. not gonna lie. So I'll probably just stick to a ground tent and use that for cargo. More space inside. And I do have this nice little platform I built. Check it out. Forgot to show you guys this earlier. Oh, my keys. Where are my keys? Where are my keys? Sorry guys, everything's a mess here. Look at that. I built that little platform right there. Went around the subwoofer. That way when I fold these seats down, I could actually sleep. And I use 3/4 inch plywood. And this, I know it's random, but Walmart had them for like 10 bucks. They were on sale. And you are not gonna buy a camping grill when they're on sale, guys. All right, so little rig is coming along. I'm happy with how it sits right now. And maybe later on I'll add like a little rail system here. Some heavy duty rails for some drawers or something, who knows. All right, so let's see when that happens. I just need a little bit more time. Man, I think it looks freaking nice. I don't know, should I drive out and take a thumbnail picture somewhere, or should I just do it from here? I think I have a little bit too many pictures of my driveway, you know, just on my YouTube thumbnails. I'll probably switch it up a bit, make it look nice before the sun goes down. It's actually perfect right now. Not too dark, not too bright. So I'm gonna drive out real quick, take a thumbnail, and see you guys on the next one.